Hey friends, you are crafting with Kim Byers at the Celebration Shop, and today we are on day 3 of our back to school series. So we are going to be making labels today, and these are going to be with smart sticker paper and pens, and I'm really excited about this. We are going to be using our Cricut Joy. Now if you have an Explorer 3 or a Maker 3, you can use the smart paper with it as well. If you don't have either one of those, and so you have one of the older machines, it's okay. There is sticker paper that you can buy for your Cricut Explorer and your Cricut Maker, like the original ones. And so that is available as well. I'm going to put links down below to all of this so that you can find that. But this process makes labeling all the things for back to school so much easier. We struggle with it every year, and we're not going to struggle this year. It's going to be great. So let's hop over to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to show you what we're doing, and then we'll go over to the craft table and put it all together. Let's go. Space. So you just want to go in and open up a brand new canvas from the home page, or if you're already working in Design Space, there's a new button right here. And I've gone ahead and pulled in some of the things that I want to work with today. So we're going to go into images. And so if you watched my video yesterday, I told you that you can find the right category just by going into search and then looking under themes, and you can find classroom and education. And then from there, you could find different subjects and things that you might want to bring in, science and math and those types of things. Or you can go back out and you can search in featured or recently added, or you could just search all images. And so for instance, if I wanted to put a mermaid, right? So let's say mermaid. So you bring up mermaid, and at that point you could then look through them, and things that are drawn or actually cut files and you want to draw them, a lot of times you can make them drawn, and I can show you how to do that over in Canvas. But you could also go, and if you don't want to have to deal with that, you can just select draw, and it's going to limit you to the ones that were drawn. So I did use this. I used this tail and inserted that in, and then I also looked for things like trucks or other things that your kiddos are interested in. So let's hop out. And so these are the ones that I chose. So I thought for the older kids, some of these were really fun, like this math one, and then math, the only subject that counts with an equation. I thought that was really fun. And then you have this for science. And this one right here I thought was really cool. You can see how I ended up making that in the end, but I didn't want all of the elements. And so I can show you how to go into the contour tool and remove things that you don't want. And so this would be fun for history maybe and reading. And then you have the smaller kids. They're not necessarily going to have those subjects. So like my little Addie is going into kindergarten, and although she's not going to be labeling all the notebooks for subjects, she definitely needs to label things for her, with her name. So I'm going to show you how to go in and make these, for the little kids. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to select this one. We're going to take the science, and so we're just going to do a handful of these for our ideas for today, and then I am going to show you how to work with Addie and Walker. Okay, let's start with this one. So what we're going to do is I am going to just bring that down. Now this is what it's going to look like in the end, and this is what it is today. So first thing that we want to do is go up into operation, and we're going to change that basic cut to pen. And so now you see that it's an outline. And now at this point we want to go over and we can change the whole thing to a certain color. If you want to just do the entire thing red, and that works perfectly. But if you want to have multiple colors, if you look over into layers, this is one element. So what you're going to have to do is duplicate it. So you have 2. And then we'll have to use the contour tool. So let's just go ahead and click contour. And if you've not used this tool before, it's actually really easy. But basically what we want to do is we want to take off the word math. So we're going to remove all of the word math. And sometimes you have to look for that shape. They get separated sometimes in the contour, so don't let that bother you. But we're going to take that off. And we can click off and see if we've removed everything. Actually, we still have that one little element, so we're going to click on that and remove that. So now what we have is we have the area with everything but the word math, and so we'll need to click on this first one, do contour for it, and then we're going to eliminate everything except math. And so you could do that quickly by going to hide all contours and then clicking on all of math. Okay, so I just wanted to be able to show you that that's the way that you would get two different ones, okay? So then you can take this and you go up into pens. Now I'm going to use the Joy for this today. You can use any of your machines to create what we're making today. So, but since it's the Joy, I have to choose Joy pens. Otherwise it's going to tell me that it conflicts. And I am going to be using, I have glitter gel, and then I have some markers. And so say if we're using the glitter gel, and then I'm going to turn that to the blue color and see how that then shows in the blue. And if you want to, you can make it larger and kind of get a better look at what that's going to look like. And it's an outline, but it's a really fun kind of hand-drawn look. So I think that's going to be really fun. So that's the way that you would get two different colors in one sticker. The next thing that you want to do is you want to grab both of those, right? And then I would go into offset and we're going to apply. And so now you have this offset piece around this. So when you click on that offset, because you just used a pen, it's trying to make that a pen, and you don't want it to be a pen. You want it to be a cut. We want to cut it out as a sticker. So it comes in for black for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it comes in black. And so then we're going to just click on that color. This is just for my sanity's sake, and turn it white, just so I can get a better idea of what it's going to look like in the end. So when you cut it, you're not actually going to have that black outline, right? But it's just going to give you that offset effect. So you're cutting or trimming out all the way around your element. Now, highlight all of those pieces. So if you look over in layers, you see there's math, there's the text underneath it, and then there is your cut. And what we want to do is we want to attach. So by attaching those together, so then it's going to write and cut all together. Okay, so I did that same thing with science. Okay, so now when we go to names, I got a little bit more creative because these designs did not already exist in Cricut Design Space. I kind of made them up. These existed and I just modified them. So for the Addie and the Walker, what I would suggest doing is picking a font that is chunky, like this one, and then, well, I take that back. You could use, a cursive font. I chose to do a chunky font so that they could read them because Addie is just 5. And then actually Walker can't read anything because he's only about 3. But he might recognize that that's his name, right? But what I would do is I would, do this chunky font so that it's legible for the child, and then choose elements that they like. So like Addie loves mermaids. So I went in and found the mermaid tail, and then these are little starfish, and just added those to each side. And so when you have it like this, you can go ahead up into pen, change it to pen, change your colors. So I might go back to the glitters and, choose a pink. And then when you go over to the tail, you could, choose a different color for that. And so let's just say we went into pen and chose blue. And so then what we could do is we click on it in this little rotating icon here, turn it around. Okay. So we make that a little bit bigger so we can look at it. And then let's move Addie up slightly. And then we could take the tail and make it a little bit smaller and rotate it. Basically just, designing it the way you would want it to look for your child. And so once you have all of those elements together, and I added a little starfish here, so you drag over top of them both, or you go over into the layers panel and grab both of them with the shift key, go into offset, and then you can just select apply. So it's going to come in as a pin. So make sure that you go up and make it a basic cut. And then again, I just turn it to white because then I can, better see what it's going to look like. So now that you have these together, it's just like with the subjects. You would grab both of them, attach, and so then they will write and cut together on the mat. Now with Walker, there's a little bit more to him. So what I did is I thought it might be fun to change the orientation of the lettering because I'm using my Joy. I can't really make it larger than 4.5. And candidly, the notebook, you can't go as large as this was wanting to be anyway, or it was going to be very tiny. So I chose to change the orientation of his sticker, make it a vertical. And so the way that you would do that is, so I took my little truck here and I turned it to pen. Okay, and so you could go ahead and choose the pen color for that if you want. Your child's name, especially if it's a long name. And I thought it would be really fun if it looked like the truck was sort of picking up part of the name. If you go up into advanced, and then you can ungroup those letters. So now they're individual and you can move them around to be anything you want. So I just took the W and kind of rocked it on its side, and then I took the A and the L, not making it perfect, you know, and put them all below. And you can go up and make each one of those, you know, pen and choose the right colors. Okay, so now what you can do is you can grab all of those and then just go up into a line, and you're going to be able to align them to the left. You can also align them center if that's the way that you would want, or you can go down and distribute them vertically, and that's going to space them out perfectly. And so you don't have to worry so much about, you know, trying to put them in a perfect line. You can do it really quick in a couple of clicks. Okay, so once you have this all together, you're going to do the same thing as before. You're going to highlight the whole thing and hit offset, and then you're going to have this darling little sticker like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out everything that we're not actually going to draw and cut. Okay, so now that we've closed everything, we want to double check our 4 stickers. So we have 2 for the teenager, middle school kind of age, and then we have 2 for elementary. And so we want to double check all of these and just make sure that they are attached and ready to go. So we can see over in layers, those are attached. And then we want to look at our little truck and we want to attach those. And so let's make sure math is ready and it's attached. Science is ready and attached. So now we're ready to go. So I'm going to use my Joy, and let's go ahead and hit make it. Okay, so it sorted our labels onto a mat, or actually onto what looks like a smart piece of material without a mat. And it's showing at 18 inches. Well, unfortunately, our material is only 13 inches long. So our little sheets, so we want to change this to 13. And so then it's going to rework everything, and now we're going to have 2 different sheets. Okay, the thing is I would love to be able to move Addie right underneath Walker and save that material. Unfortunately, it's just not going to let me do that. If you click on this, whenever you used to be able to move an object to another mat. I think it's because it's smart material. For some reason, it's not moving it up to the other or doesn't give you that choice. But what you do have now is if you click new, you can do a new set. So like say we're going to put these onto white sticker paper, and then we wanted to put some on orange sticker paper, you're going to be able to make that choice here and create a new one. So that's really cool. Okay, so let's go back and just close out of that. And so we have the 2 separate white sheets. And so let's hit continue. Now we can select our material. So we're just going to go into browse all materials. And then we are going to select under cardstock, smart paper sticker cardstock. Okay, done. Okay, and at this point, we're going to be able to check our pressure, just leave it as default. We're going to start with our pen. So we're going to start with the green pen, and then it's telling us for this first one that's going to come up with the blue next, and then the pink. And then, of course, we're using the fine point blade. So let's hop over to the craft table and get our first cut together. Okay, so here we are on the craft table, and these are the things that we're going to be using today. So I have my Cricut Joy, I have my smart paper sticker cardstock, I have an assortment of pens. So these are the glitter pens, these are markers, and these are fine point. And then I have just some notebooks, and I actually picked these up at Walmart for like 95 cents, which was great. And then I have a pair of scissors. Okay, so let's move everything out of the way, and we'll go ahead and start with our sticker paper and our green pen. Okay, so I've taken my material out of its packaging. If you flip it over on the back, you can see that it's actually labeled. All the new materials from Cricut have labels on the back, which are phenomenal. And so all we want to do is put it into the machine under the feeds. And then the Joy is going to measure it to make sure that we have enough material for our cut. Now at this point, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and insert our green pen. So when we were looking at Cricut Design Space, it tells you in order which pens to use. So we're going to open the clamp, take out the blade and set it aside. So when you use pens, you will always use the pen first and then the cut second. So just a note, if you have an Explorer or a Maker and you put a pen in, you're waiting for that click, which I was just doing myself. There is no click with the Joy, okay? So you just set it in and close the clamp so you don't push down for a click. It's a little bit shorter of a pen than is used with the other two machines. So we'll just keep our blade to the side and we're ready to go. Now that our green has finished, we just open the clamp, take out our pen, and then we're going to insert our blue metallic pen. And all of this is in Cricut Design Space for you as you go so you don't get confused on color choices. And then we can select go. I love watching the machines write. You know, and the really cool thing about using block lettering like this is the kids can actually color in the design as well, which I think would be a really fun feature. So it's not just a sticker to put on their notebook, they can actually color it in. Okay, so now it's time to select our next pen. I'm going to take that one out and we're going to end this page with our pink. Now that our pen is done, we just take out the pen and then we want to put our blade back in so our Joy can cut out our stickers. So now it's time to put in our next sheet. So we're going to load our sheet, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our blade out for our first pen. We're using all 5 pens. We're going to start with our blue. Okay, so our stickers are done. We can put that to the side. And at this point, guys, you can take the pens and like color things in. You could allow your child to do it. You can make tiny little labels for your teenagers and things like that. They just have the subjects on them. I wanted to show you the fun ones, but there is so much that you can do with these. Peel off just like stickers. Pop it up to the side, and they're thick stickers too, and then add those to your notebooks. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that process and found that super easy to do. And you be as creative as you want, right? So if your kid loves trucks, you could do trucks. If your kid loves mermaids, you can do mermaids. Whatever the case may be, or you can just do black and white whenever your boys get older and they don't want to do anything fun. But that's okay because you still get all the labels done and everything ready for your kiddo, and then you don't have any stress on that night before back to school. So I would love for you to leave me a comment down below if you liked what we did here today, and if you have any questions about what we did, please leave those as well. I want you to craft with confidence. I want you to enjoy what you're making and have fun. And I also left links down below to all the things that we used today so you can find those easily as well. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have 2 more days of back to school, and don't forget to have a look at days 1 and 2 of back to school. Okay guys, see you next time.